Well, what is up, guys and girls? This is my brand new Fuel EX trail race do-it-all machine. Super pumped. It literally landed a few days ago. We got built up and popped down to Cape Town to shred a bit of trail and had Jacques in the park. Jacques Grobler filmed the absolutely banger edit that I'm super stoked on with it, so you can catch that in the description below. But yeah, just going to give you a run through of the bike, how I've currently got it set up, what the adjustability options are, and what I'm planning to do for the build into the 2026 season with this guy. So the Fuel is Trek's sort of do-it-all platform, and standard trail bike setup, born in 2005, so it's pretty much 21 years old now, and the latest evolution of it is this Fuel EX that I've got right here, which has simplified the frame a little bit from the previous model and added a ton of adjustability. So to kick off with those adjustments, essentially you've got the option to run a 29 or 27.5 rear wheel. Obviously the smaller wheel giving you a bit more adjustability and maneuverability in the back, and that's operated through a lower shock mount here, that allows you to run the two different wheels. Ideally, you want to pair that 27.5 rear wheel with the MX link. So you've got three link options here for the main rocker. The EX, which currently delivers 145 mils of travel with a 60mm stroke shock. Then the MX, which gets you 150 mils of travel with the same shock and ideally paired with that smaller rear wheel. And then you can go up to the LX link, which delivers 160 mils of rear travel, but you do need to pair that with a 65 mil stroke shock. And then you obviously want to balance that out on the front. The bike comes stock with a 150 mil travel fork, but you can go up to 160 or 170 for that big LX setup. Then you also have a head tube that can accept reach and angle adjust headsets. That's something I'm keen to play around with a little bit, or you just run it stock as is. And then lastly, you can adjust the progression of the shock. Each rocker link you go up from the EX to the MX to the LX does increase the progression slightly of the rear suspension kinematics, but you can also add a little bit more progression through the lower shock mount over here. So yeah, other than that, as I said, it's a slightly simpler frame layout. It's got a straight shot C-tube now, coming from the previous version of the EX, and it's a little bit lighter. As a result, you've got improved internal frame storage, standard active braking pivots, rear suspension that Trek is known and loved for. It's nothing new there, just solid trusted design, and a taller head tube as well. So Trek's bikes in the past have had slightly shorter than average head tubes, you could probably say. They bumped that up to be on trend with the current progressions in geometry. So that essentially just means you've got a little bit more height on the front of the bike, especially for the larger sizes. So you're not going to have to stack your headset spaces as high or run super high bars to get a bit of extra front end height. And then also, if you do want to just send those bars to the moon, you've got the range to do so. So that's something I'm looking forward to reaping the fruits of. I was running 38 mil rise bars on my Slash this last year with quite a bit of stack under the stem, so having a bit more room to play with, maybe go even higher than I was this year, or find somewhere happy in the middle will be pretty sweet. So in terms of the spec that I've got here, it's the 9.8 model, and that's got Fox Float X and Fox 36 suspension. Big fan of Fox, so stoked to be rolling on those for the foreseeable future. It's got obviously the brand new Shimano Di2 in the XT range. Really nice crisp shifting. The battery life is pretty phenomenal from what I understand. I've charged it once now, and we'll find out how long it lasts. The clutch system isn't quite as strong as you have on a cable pull, so if I could spec the bike however I wanted, and obviously there's limitations, but yeah, I'd probably go for Shimano mechanical still. That's my favorite drivetrain to run. So we might do some fiddling there and maybe go down to the 10 to 45 tooth rear cassette, so you can run a slightly shorter cage on the derailleur, and then 32 or 34 tooth chainring up front. But as it is now, It shifts beautifully. There's a little bit more chain slap than you'd get with the mechanical. Yeah, what else? Race face era handlebars that are carbon, so nice and light. They've been tuned specifically to dampen trail vibrations, apparently. They felt pretty good on the trail in Cape Town, but yeah, haven't got a strong opinion on that yet, but looking forward to reaping the benefits of that. And they've got 27.5 mils of rise, which is a nice happy medium. You can get higher rise bars, and I don't think, given the taller head tube, I don't think I'm going to need to go much higher on the bars. And then Shimano XT brakes, the new brake set, they feel somewhere in between, I think, what the previous Shimano's felt like and the SRAMs, which I've always really enjoyed Shimano brakes. I'm pretty stoked on them, and they don't feel too much like what I haven't enjoyed on the SRAM brakes. So really enjoying those. 200mm rotor up front, 180mm on the back as standard. We'll try and bump that up to 200mm on the back, and maybe even go 220 front and rear for the big races in Europe next season. 200mm dropper post as standard, which is fantastic. I've been racing this last year on a 200mm dropper post, so yeah, I've gotten used to that range of motion, and it feels really good. And then the bike came stock with the Minion DHR2 and Minion DHF tires in EXO Plus casing, so for just casual trail riding, it's pretty good for me at the moment. I popped the Cushcore Pro inserts front and rear, so I've got a bit more support on the sidewalls of the tires and protecting the rims a little bit. But yeah, for racing, we'll definitely go up at least to up-down front and rear, if not just full-on downhill casing again. Yeah, what else is there to talk about on the bike? That's pretty much the main details of the spec and how I've got it set up. So in terms of what I'm planning on doing with this build for the coming race season, obviously I talked a little bit about the drivetrain, but that's not a major issue or major performance factor, more just a point of preference. But what I'm really keen to play with is those different rocker links and suspension travel options. So as I said, currently 150mm in the rear, 150 up front, 145mm in the rear. I think I'm probably going to end up settling somewhere around a 150 or 160 in the back, or even 155. You can play around a bit with pairing the links with different stroke shocks. So I'm going to see what feels good there. I just need to get my hands on a longer stroke shock and actually a longer fork, and then probably settle somewhere between 160 and 170 up front, just to obviously have a bit of extra protection between you and the trail when you're getting beaten up on 10-minute alpine descents at the World Cups. But still definitely a lighter and more taut package than the Slash that I've been racing this last year. So it'll hopefully be a bit more of a all-rounder, carrying speed a bit better, where you're pumping and pedaling for speed, because that's definitely part of the equation at the World Cups. It's not always super gnarly, rowdy, rough stuff. There's plenty of riding in between where you need to be able to generate good speed through the pedals and through pumping. So yeah, some guys are racing 145 and 160mm setups. Some guys are going full 170 front and rear. So it is a point of preference, but I'm keen to experiment a bit, and that is the beauty of the new EX, or the new fuel, should I say, rather, because you can go EX, MX, or LX. And I believe Matt Lombardi and Frankie Dutoy have got the MX models of this, in also different colorways. I'm really stoked on this green chameleon-ish. It changes color a little bit in the light. Frankie's gone for a gorgeous purple haze, smoky looking thing, and that's something more subtle, darker, reddy black. But yeah, they've gone for the MX, so they're going to be having a lot of fun with that smaller rear wheel. Something I raced a lot on the MX setup this season, and I did feel the benefits of that in the corners, just having a bike that's a bit easier to dip in and out of corners, and having a bit more wiggle room when it gets steep, that you can get low over the back of the bike and not be buzzing the tire. But I think overall the rolling speed of the full 29 is more advantageous, so I'm going to have to retrain myself a bit to learn how to ride the big wheels well. But that'll be the goal, to stay on the full 29 setup for the season. But who knows, I might I'm going to test the smaller wheel if I can, and if I prefer that, then that's what it is. So yeah, overall super versatile package, a little bit lighter, a little bit more efficient and all-rounder than the Slash that I have been racing the last season. As much as that bike was phenomenal in the really rough stuff, I think this will probably be a better overall package for the racing that I'll be doing. For the local terrain, the EX I think is pretty dialed. I don't think you need much more travel for racing and competing locally. And the only reason I will really race anything with more travel next season at our local races will just be to get as familiar as possible with that setup for the international racing. So yeah, that's my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but I think the EX is a really banger model for the local terrain. And if you want something a bit more playful, then the MX setup is pretty sweet. The LX is probably, you could say, overkill, unless you just like having a lot of travel and something that's going to look after you. Yeah, whatever floats your boat, I suppose. But yeah, stoked on this. Keen to get more time on it. I've literally ridden it once so far, but enjoying a bit of off season at the moment. But looking forward to getting some good time in it on the trails. Pop any questions about the bike in the comments, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. But yeah, super stoked. Gotta do my mentality, and I'm done with the plane.